Vince, spit or swallow.
Okay, I guess that's one way to transition. This is originally going to be like a whole ass rant for me, but I'm just going to save that rant and like let things play out, so to speak. Like Young Kings Wrestling likes to say, TC, bless you.
We got time if you want to rant.
No,
Get it
I'm
off
gonna
your chest.
No, it's fine because I feel better after tonight. I'm gonna swallow the fact that they got rid of Rey Mysterio and the Dominic dynamic, moved them over to SmackDown. I wasn't a fan of him being like, oh, I'm gonna quit. I don't want to fight my son. Yada yada, whatever. If he was a real Mexican, he would have just beat his ass with a belt. But no, they moved him over to SmackDown. He won the Fatal 4-Way match. He's the number one contender to face Gunther. Granted, I don't think he's going to beat Gunther for that IC title, but he's going to make Gunther look like $1 million, and he's going to flop like a fish for him. He's going to look like a magic carp up in that ring. It's going to be a great match because Rey Mysterio versus a bigger wrestler always hits. They always have great chemistry.
No, this is a spit. Listen, Rey Mysterio, going on 3 years running, worst father in wrestling, refuses to discipline his child. And then, after everything that happened on Raw, where he's basically being begged by his son to discipline him and will not do it, and then pays the price, runs to SmackDown and says, listen, on some of the most white people shit I have ever seen in my life, where they're like, we don't hit our children, we don't discipline our children, we don't tell our children no, like that kind of shit, which we don't do around here. He's like, I'm just going to quit my job and because I can't fight my own child. And they're like, no, we'll move you to SmackDown so you don't have to deal with your problems. He went out for a pack of smokes and ain't coming back. And I ain't letting that shit slide. We're not doing that over here.
Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and let things play out just a little bit. I wasn't feeling Rey Mysterio's booking recently, which is where my rant was going to. And again, I don't want to rant about it because he just won the number one contendership match.
Which you didn't deserve. You can't discipline your own child. You don't get title shots. That's not how that works.
I don't care. I like Rey Mysterio. He's in my Mount Rushmore of wrestling. He got a championship match. How am I not going to swallow that? And he is one of the cornerstones of SmackDown. Like, if you think SmackDown, Rey Mysterio is one of the faces, so him being on SmackDown, that also is a swallow, regardless of the gymnastics and loopholes they had to maneuver to get him there. Like, just get him away from Judgment Day, get him away from Dom, because that was terrible. Like, now Dom can do his own thing, Ray can do his own thing, because obviously they didn't want to do Ray versus Dom. They're probably going to push that towards later on, or maybe they just didn't want to do it, period. So I'm just glad it's over with.
His own children.
Yo, like, Matt just can't get over this.
No, and it's.
I mean, if Ray would have smacked Dom 8 months ago, none of this would have happened.
If Ray would have whooped his ass when that kid was a child, we wouldn't be here. If we had taught that child some respect back when, they were fighting for custody, Eddie would have done it. Eddie almost did it in the ladder match. Eddie was his real dad was down for whooping his ass. And I said this on Twitter. Listen, Ray, you are the stepfather, but you're not just a stepfather. You're the father that stepped up. Now step up to the plate and take a swing at that kid. Please.
Swing at that kid. On God.
But I am going to find final point is I'm going to retort with the fact that he didn't actually run away to SmackDown. He went to SmackDown to talk to Triple H personally to be like, hey, I'm out of here. I don't want to fight my child. I can't, like, I'm not doing this. And then Triple H was the one that's like, hey, you know what? Let's talk. Let's talk this out.
Now, wait a minute here. Why? Because we know Triple H was on Raw. Why wouldn't Ray just talk to Hunter then? Why did he have to run to smack it down?
Because he was attacked by the Judgment Day, and storyline-wise, he was probably in a medical facility after getting beat down.
Didn't he leave under his own power, and he was just crying?
No. Not that I recall.
Not even that. You say he didn't run away to SmackDown. No, he ran away. He was going to run away from the whole company. He was going to put Angie. He was going to put Angie's financial future in jeopardy. He's got Aaliyah who's raising Buddy Matthews' baby at home.
That
because they got that Australian. Listen,
No,
they got an Australian fetish. Aaliyah's at least got 2 kids by Buddy Matthews at this point that Ray's got to help raise because he's out of the picture. Like, and he was going to quit his job and just there's a formula shortage, sir. Like, you can't just quit your job. You got to be able to buy that formula. Like, he was running away.
He ran.
It was.
On that note, though, some things from that I will swallow. I will swallow during that whole segment on Raw, Rhea beating up Beth Phoenix and why she took Beth Phoenix out.
Awesome.
And the only cool thing Dom has ever said, which is, it got me off. Did it get you guys off?
I swallowed that, yo. That's the best thing he's ever said.
Literally ever.
We also got Finn calling out AJ and AJ pretending like he is gonna join the OC or the Sexecutioners, Judgment Day, the Sexecutioners as I call them. But we hear him say, "I'm my brother's keeper," and the rumors were running wild all the way up until the Good Brothers come back, which is only a swallow for one reason, because now I get to talk about Hot Karl again. I have not been able to talk about Hot Karl for a long time. Now we get to talk about Hot Karl again. Because there's a full episode where he referred to himself, Carl Anderson called himself Hot Karl, and Travis and I broke down what Hot Karl is. And if you're not familiar, I'm not going to educate you right now. Just Google it. Okay. You're going to regret it, but Google it.
Yeah, I'm not Googling it. I'm not falling into your trap.
Let me Google it right now, actually.
All right, well, while Vince Googles that, I see, like, Gallows and Anderson coming back is just a gargle, right? It's like, I don't really know, but it's another tag team for this division that Triple H is slowly building back up.
Right.
So it's like, Vince didn't they?
I agree.
Well then, that's some definition, Urban Dictionary.
I'm not doing it.
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
I'm not going to. I'm not falling into this trap.
Really
I'm going to just copy and paste the description onto the chat and let the chat experience it. If I saw it, they see it.